Hi everybody. So we're here with a Terror Talks World News channel brought to you by At Heaven's Door Terror, to do the case of the Ohio father who had shot his 3 young boys. And this is in Ohio. Oh, Chad Doerman, who's 32 in Ohio, and he confessed, allegedly, to his act that ended the lives of his 3 little boys. I think one was 3, 4, and then 7, something in that range. So I wanted to do some cards on. They said that he said in the news updates that he planned this. Which is really horrible, to say the least. That he had been planning this for months or a month. Don't quote me. His father or his parents were like, they don't understand it. He just snapped. Now, I'm not blaming them or anything, but you're not going to say, you want to be in denial that you don't know why your son snapped. But he couldn't have been, that I think, such a good person, good man, good child growing up, that there was no indication of a possibility, not that he would, but a possibility that he could snap. For me, that's hard to believe, but people are in denial, because then for them, they're thinking they did wrong raising this person, and it might not be their fault. He may have underlying medical, psychological illnesses, and he could have, when he did this, been in a state of mania or manic or delusion, thinking that the sons were evil, like that one lady, the blonde lady that thought her kids were demons. So her and her new husband eliminated them. So that's a mental illness. So that could contribute to snapping. But I just wonder. And he looks like a nice guy. You probably wouldn't think he'd be a mass murderer, although 4, I think, becomes mass. And he cried in court. Now, if you saw my domestic violence videos, they can cry. Abusers can cry. And I guess on one report, they said neighbors said he was always yelling. Well, it looked like they lived on a really big property. So if he was yelling, it was probably really loud. Maybe just from the videos, it looks like it was a big property. Maybe it really wasn't. Maybe people in that area all had like 2 acres. So, like I know my parents lived on 2 acres, and you could hear of the neighbors, especially if they were yelling loudly. The neighbors that lived next to you that were on like an acre or 5 acre, whatever, depends on how the house is set up. I don't know. But they said he was always yelling. And I wonder if there's any substance abuse on this. So it doesn't look like any, let's see, 4 days ago, 3 weeks ago, talking about when the police came, he was just sitting outside. So that also leads me to the mental illness part, because how can you just be sitting there with 3 of the babies laying about, gone? How could you just sit there? So that's either someone who's very mentally ill, going through a psychotic episode or something, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, or someone that is so evil and cold. So what came out first? 5 of Wands. Okay, there's a woman in the middle. And all these people around her. She's holding the book. Books are knowledge. And these people around her, their faces look really evil. Oh, and I never noticed this in the card before, but they have weapons. One has like a sledgehammer, one has, it looks like a protractor, you know, those things that you make a circle with, but it's got pointy tips. Could be needles. One looks like he has a, I don't know what it is, but they all look very evil. Okay, let me see. Can you see the card? Oh, the light. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Oh boy. I'm trying to get the right light here, people. Hang on. Okay, well, there's the card. So this is the woman, and these are all these faces around her, which I think is the same person, which I think is him. So I'm leaning towards evil, malice. On the back of this card, I know I never noticed, and it's never looked like that to me, but it looks like handcuffs. And she's holding the book of knowledge. There's a knowledge that she has of something that possibly he could get arrested for. So maybe there was a threat that she was going to go to the authorities. Maybe he abused her or her daughter, which was his stepdaughter. But whatever it was something maybe that was going to put him in jail. I think, I'm not positive, but I think they might have said he didn't have a record. But there was something she was holding, something she knew with the book that could cause him serious problems. So, what else? Okay. Oh, okay, no, it didn't come out in reverse. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. Priorities. Juggling. Priorities. 2 of Pentacles. Maybe, okay, this is 2 of Pentacles. And he's up in a tree, like a scared cat. Maybe he needed mental help. Maybe she was going to get an order of protection against him. He was coming unraveled with juggling. He was unbalanced. You know, the 2 pentacles and the infinity symbol. He was going in circles. This was a pattern of abuse that she was going to expose. Maybe, now I'm looking at this again, maybe he had multiple personalities and she was going to get help for him. You know, when I had my own domestic violence situation, which is in my videos, my car life, DVs, living in my car / DVs, domestic violence, video part of it. I did try to get an order of protection, and maybe that's what she was trying to do. Oh, I was gonna say, because I lost my train of thought there for a second. I presented, well, I didn't even hardly get a chance to present anything to the judge, but this is what the red flag law is for. Maybe we're gonna find out that she was going to try to get him help. I mean, he felt like a cat up in a tree. The Ace of Cups. Oh, and I never noticed this before. So this is about love. You know, when you do try to get someone help that has a serious problem, it is about love. If you didn't love them or care about them, what the hell would you care? But she did love him, so she wanted to get him help. But, and I never noticed this before, but there's red specks in her eyes, which is calling, like the Red Cross symbol. You know, the response, the Red Cross that comes out to help. She knew that something bad was going to happen. Bad. This is why it's important to speak up, speak out if you or your family members are abused. Okay, 12:12 on the clock. I had to look that up from angel numbers. The Four of Cups. She was tired. She was trying. She felt trapped. With this little evil monster, which is him. Just saying, that's what the cards are saying. I'm not saying that. And then with this little thing on her leg, he might have abused her before or strapped her somewhere on the left leg, lower half. And that could have been the last straw for her. And this isn't the Tasmanian devil. I don't know what the animal is, but it kind of reminds me of that. The Four of Cups is normally not seeing an opportunity the divine is trying to hand you. She probably has a lot of guilt now. Oh, severe guilt. But it wasn't her fault. She tried the best she could. You can't stop a madman with a gun, a rifle. Especially he was planning it. We got the Six of Wands, Six of Wands, Six of Wands, Six of Wands, Five of Wands, Six of Wands. I think that's Nine of Wands. Six of Wands. Yeah, I think in his delusion. Okay. He thought that he was jealous. Maybe jealous of the relationship with the little boys. He saw her as a sexual symbol. And he thought she was a snake. He thought she was cheating on him. So, to get back at her, he made this plan. I was thinking, what if she was pregnant with someone else's baby, or he thought, but I think this was a delusion. He thought she was a snake. And the lovers, yeah. She may have cheated on him, and he saw it. Or he wanted her to, is it voyeuristic? I don't know, but sometimes one partner, let's say if it were the man, would want their wife to sleep with another man and watch it. I forget what that's called, but there's something like that. So maybe he wanted her to do that, and she didn't want to. And that's where she was like, this is the end. But he didn't respect women. He saw them as a object, sexual object. He might have thought she was cheating on him. And was in love with someone else. This is the lovers. Okay. But why would you do that? Like, why? What was the reason to plan this? Right now I'm seeing spite. But what was the reason to plan this? Bottom of the deck, we have 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, he might have seen her as beautiful, sensual, and maybe he thought other people were going to touch his property, her being the property, or that she was getting ready to leave him. He saw her as getting too independent. 18. We have the moon here. So he had fear. He had illusions. He was in illusion. He had fear that she was going to leave him. Yeah. Again, he saw her as desirable to other people. 17. So he saw her as an angel in this card is what I'm seeing. He saw her as that he needed her. He needed her. This is the star. Even though he objectified her, he needed her. Because she did love him. But he might have thought the way he saw her is the way other people saw her. Okay, and then we have the Phoenix rising. But what is this? What is the Phoenix in? Phoenix. Yeah, in the Epic Tarot, it's the Queen. Queen of Cups. He saw her as very loving. He saw her as his queen. But why? But Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is sharing, is giving. Giving and receiving. But really, he was a monster. He only wanted to receive. He was jealous. Yeah, and then we have this card again, Seven of Swords. He wanted power over her and everybody, all the children. But he saw her as becoming the star, the Queen of, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. But what was the root reason that he did this? Because someone, one of the YouTube psychologist guys that I watch, he does crime videos, and he thought he was listing out reasons why people do kill their children. And I think one of them was to get back at the spouse, as sick as that is. And that to me is just beyond, well, not beyond mental illness. That's just skewed reality. That's just malice. That's just, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So cold, so cold. Heartless. Heartless. And the crying is fake. That's what I'm seeing so far. Okay, so a lot of cards came out. So let's see if we can figure out the root of this. Yep. Okay, it's in reverse. He wanted to take her out of a loving person who loved her children, who was the Queen of Cups. He wanted to not have her be that anymore. So he wanted to ruin it. Because it's in reverse. He wanted to ruin the love she had. He wanted to take it from her. The Ace of Wands. It was an act out of passion. For her, that he thought he was going to lose. So you ain't leaving me, and you ain't taking my kids that I gave you, that I inserted into you and birthed. 2 5s and a 10. Yeah, this is a drastic ending. We have the 10 of Pentacles, which is generations. So generational wealth, but this is generations. He's stopping. He's stopping the generation. He's stopping his generation. Because the boys would carry on his name. So in my mind I'm saying, well, why didn't he kill himself? You know, because he's a coward, because he's an abuser. Then we have the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles is, yeah. 5 of Pentacles is being left out in the cold. That's what he was fearing. And the 5 of Cups is Five of Cups is regret. If he wasn't in a psychotic episode, I could say he might regret. Is it upside down? Yep, it's upside down. Wait, no. Oh, it is upside down. He's gonna fake regret, but he's not regretful. He wanted to leave her out in the cold, wounded. You know, maybe he was a sole provider. I don't know. But he's a domineering, narcissist, psychopath that lacks empathy. That's what the cards are saying. I'm not saying that. The Two of Cups. It's a decision he made about the love of his life that he didn't want to lose. So, put her in pain. And she has guilt. She has so much guilt, but it's not her fault. She tried. He's gonna say she ran him up a tree. She gave him no choice, is what he's gonna say to her. But the Two of Pentacles, he was unbalanced. Unbalanced. Four of Wands. Yeah. He was taking everything from her. Four of Wands, his happy home, is the marriage, is success from hard work. The Four of Wands. He thought she was elevating from him and going to leave him, and possibly sought legal advice already. So he wanted to take everything from her that he gave to her, meaning a safe home, her children that she had with him, the love that she carried in her heart. He wanted to ruin all that for her. And again, with this card, I'm looking at this card, and with this card, maybe he did have multiple personalities. Okay, he felt like a victim. He was up in a tree. That's him, I think. And then, but he really was the Tasmanian devil. A rat. Didn't take any responsibility for himself. But he may have multiple personalities. Let me see here. Do psychopaths have multiple personalities? There is increasing evidence that it is a confluence of different personality traits. Psychopaths have been assumed to be psychopathy has been long assumed to be a single personal disorder. I think he's probably a psychopath. But there's increasing evidence that it is confluence of several different personality traits. Confluence. Why can't you use a different word? I don't know what that means. Okay. People with multiple personality. Okay. People with multiple personality disorders are nearly always psychopaths. They have a dissociative identity disorder. And that, Okay, that cut off on hopefully. What do most psychopaths have in common? Criminal record, promiscuity, which is sexual, lack of responsibility, they're manipulative, dishonest, narcissistic, unremorseful, non-empathetic. They lack an empathy gene. So this is what, let me see this little drawing here. Traits of a psychopath: narcissism, lack of guilt, antisocial behavior, impulsivity, and no empathy. Yes, he didn't have any empathy that those babies were out in the lawn. He lacked guilt. He admitted guilt. He planned it. But, I mean, he admitted it, but he didn't, what's it say? He said he did it, but he don't feel guilty about it, is what I was trying to say. Because he has no empathy. There is no empathy in that heart. And he's impulsive. Although if he planned it, that's not quite impulsive. Antisocial behavior. They have a picture here of him fighting with everybody. And narcissism is a big trait. Not that everybody who's narcissistic is going to be a psychopath. But it's someone who's callous, unemotional, and morally deprived. Morally deprived. Yeah, if you watch my domestic violence video, I think it's called "Are You the Victim of Domestic Violence?" of DV. It might be Car Life number 68, I think. DV. Are you a victim of DV? That video talks about all this. So, yeah, I think he thought she was cheating, whether she was or not, and it was the revenge to take everything away from her own heart, take it away from her. He didn't hurt the stepdaughter. I meant to keep all these out too. And that could just be because I hate to say it, this is just what the cards are saying, not me. It wasn't his child, and he didn't value her at all. She was no value to him, sadly. So that is the reading about that. We will see what comes out. But yeah, that one psychologist on that one channel, let me see who he is, because he's on mine. View your channel. I really like him. Where am I? I find it faster on my phone. Dr. Grande, I think. Dr. Grande. Yeah, I don't see him on this feed here, but I think it's Dr. Grande. But he does a lot of he talks about cases in the news, and then he tries to analyze, like, this could possibly be why this person acted this way. Nine hours ago, scooter riding gunman kills 1 and wounds 3 in New York. Oh gosh. Oh, okay, I gotta watch this other one. Okay. I'm seeing what other videos I watch. This one sounds interesting. Yeah, I probably don't have the best clickbait titles on my videos. But it is what it is. But this is what I have for that reading. Please leave a comment below what you think. Like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. But this way, when I do other videos on anything crime related for Terror Talks World News with this in the background, I will, you will get notification of it, because I always say notify my subscribers. And so if you are new, please subscribe. If you are a subscriber, I really appreciate you. I know I only have like 300, but that's great for me. It's okay. I appreciate 1 through 300, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 298, 299, and the third 300 person, rather. I appreciate all of you. So please leave a comment, like to get my video circulated, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye-bye.